now with a class of kind of buried in all this is they just got to commit from a 2022 kid on Saturday, Khalil Martin out of Chicago, a rush defensive end, who was there on an official visit and pulled the trigger. But yeah, it's such a small recruiting class that they're dealing with right now, and there's only a few out of state guys. So, obviously the local guys, they're not going anywhere. I mean, these guys are all lifelong Husker fans. They're good. They're good to go. But, the out of state guys, I think they're willing to, kind of wash this class out and, build whatever they have left for slots on their class this year. Going with more experienced bodies and other guys that have played a little bit more football. And, they're not just going to, try to fill out their roster with high school kids that they have not been recruiting yet, because if you're going to see, some staff overhauls going on because of this structured contract. So, I think right now recruiting is not really the big issue with this for this class. Now, moving forward, it's a completely different animal here if you're talking about that, because you've seen, if you're on the sidelines week in and week out in Lincoln, the majority of the visitors that are on the sidelines are 2023 and 2024 recruits. So that's what they've been gearing more towards is building for these future classes because of this logjam we've had, due to the COVID, which has made this a strange recruiting year for everybody. So I think this is just more of here's what we got to do moving forward. We're going to have to make some staff changes, and not just some slight staff changes. We're going to go all out, and there's going to be some different faces here moving forward here in 2022 here in the program.
It's easy to say fire, frost, move on, all those things. But as we've discussed many times, they are a different football team than what they were in 2017 and 18.
It's so crazy because he has got the kids believing in him. I mean, you're 3-6 and you're playing Ohio State, a team that dominates you pretty much year in and year out, and you played them head to head, toe to toe. I mean, there was a fight that broke out in pregame. Most people around the country probably don't even know that there was a big time pregame brawl that broke out. And then Scott Frost, Ryan Day didn't even shake hands before the game. That never even happened because they cleared Ohio State off of the field and sent them into the locker room. So you've seen a culture shift with a team that believes in their head coach and believes in the vision moving forward. Unfortunately, some of these other coaches that have shared in this belief and the vision are not going to be around here to follow that through. But at least the head coach is there in place, and Trev Albers, Scott Frost, they want the same exact thing. And if it's not Scott Frost, who else are you going to bring in at this point? Because you have seen a guy come in. And obviously, Mike Riley didn't know how to recruit Big Ten type of players. I think Bo Pelini was also a victim of that. He came into the Big Ten with a good roster. There was a Big 12 roster and competed early in the Big Ten, but they didn't really know how to recruit a Big Ten type of athlete, I think, and that was his downfall. And then obviously Mike Riley fell into the same kind of a deal where he was more of a West Coast type recruiting guy. And then Scott Frost knows what you need, but it took him a couple of years to know that because he came in here and was recruiting the same kind of guys that he was getting, right down the street, in Central Florida. He had your pick of athletic guys that can run and throw and catch, and And those are the kind of guys that made him successful at Central Florida. It takes a while to overhaul that roster of athletes that are not built to compete in a physical league like the Big Ten. And if you watch that game on Saturday with Ohio State and Nebraska, you didn't get any sense of Ohio State being the more physical team in that game whatsoever. Even if you look across their board at their offensive line, you're like, my God, those guys are monsters. Nebraska's defense played them toe to toe the whole time, and except for a wide receiver that just killed them all day long. They played them straight up. So, and that's the third wide receiver on that team. When you think about it.
Oh, yeah, he's a good one.
Oh, he's a good one, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Nebraska outrushed Ohio State in that game. Albeit neither team rushed it for much. But you just not see that gap, that gap in competition, that gap in physicality and athleticism. That gap is not there anymore. So that's what you hang your hat on, and that's why you don't want to get rid of your head coach right now, because he's built that culture back to where it hadn't been in a long, long time.